Party!
Ah! Degraded. Oh. I'm gonna get started in a moment once capture age loads, which it did. Woo! Good job. Let's turn on the music. There we go. Yeah, so I wanted to cast this set because, well, I went through the Rex at 8 times speed and it was a good set. So, go away, and we can see chat for capture aid. We don't have the other chat. Perfect. Let me just do the casting. Best of 5 is fine. Round of 32 is also fine. I guess I could do like master of like that. I could just put that there. Turn to map. I think that looks good. Anyway, this is a good set. It has some good map generations. First up, we have what looks to be a Socotra style start here. And let's get started with it. So this is the main event, round of 32 between Biry and Nezzar. One of the last sets that was played last week. I think it was played Sunday. Don't remember exactly. Anyway, it's a good set. We randomed into Franks and Vietnamese. And our scouting unit is a villager, probably. Oh no, wait, it's a King Bela. Who these kings have, just because they're not set up properly as kings, actually have. They have 0 attack, but they're able to attack, so I had to make the reload time really slow, otherwise they can sort of stealthily go and attack and do 1 damage. Which is no good. Yeah, alright, let's see. King is trying to block a lure, and decides not to risk getting any closer to the CC because you don't want to lose it, even though it won't make you lose. So get some important scouting info with your king here. By the way, let me know if everything is doing alright with the stream. I can close Firefox, that should help with performance. Yeah, that should be better. And both players, like if I do this now, right, then I do Fog of War. So it's right click. What was it? Shift right click. Right click. Maybe it needs to be a building. There we go. Fog of War. Anyway, the two kings just standing attacking each other, doing like 1 damage an attack, probably. But having a nice chat here.
No. Khanh có điều gì thỉnh cầu?
And they're off, chasing each other. Oh, scroll over there. So Contra style map, both players have like a little base with their nearby resources. Gold looks good. Forward bushes look not so good. Water buffalo seem fine. There's a big group of resources here, but they are guarded by Komodo dragons. There's also a nice, large, expansive gold mine. Actually, both of these have reduced amounts, but still a nice amount of resources here overall. And the top of the map has that group again. This is a massive gold collection. So if we look here, Biry has okay, that's almost not worth mentioning, but has a nice back gold mine, and then tiny midstone. The rest of the stuff is forward relics in the little niche as well. And Nezzar over here has the gold sort of on the side. I don't see the single stone mine right now. Not sure. Oh, there it is. Kind of forward, but it's only a single one. And the relics. One there, also in there. But yeah, most of the resources are... These are Biry's forward resources. These are Nezzar's forward resources. So we're going to have to see some aggression to fight for these resources. And we're going to have to see the aggression soon. Once we reach feudal. King getting stabbed here, but he regenerates, so it's okay. He's basically just being annoying, and by punishment for doing that is that he gets walled in. So now he's trapped. Barracks coming up. And it looks like Nezzar is going more for a fast castle here. Has walled his little corner. With the king inside. Actually, it's not fully walled. But is still expanding his eco here. Going to feudal now. It's just the kings being attacked again. He attacked the palisade wall and probably did like 1 damage or 0 damage. I think they always do a minimum of 1 damage, but I think they only deal it occasionally. If we do a quick corner check too, this fine corner here has a zebra with 82 food, some nice elephants, and a goose. None of which will come into play because there's a huge amount of wood. And this side has 3 zebras, and will also not come into play. So let's get back to here. King is still annoyed that he's trapped. He's managed to deal 3 damage to this wall. He's not getting out anytime soon. I have a market stable. No military yet, though. Franks makes sense, so that you might want to get a stable. And here we see a market, and I'd expect to see a blacksmith once the wood for that is available. So, right. So what are you going to see? Scouts versus Vietnamese fast castle into Latin archers? Just generally archers, perhaps? I guess the deciding thing is how long does the gold in your base last? Okay, that's a lot of gold, but this 5,000 gold? That's enough time, but after that to move out. And that's where things will get interesting. Okay, we see blacksmith up as well. We should see castle age as soon as that finishes. And we're going to see an archery range here. Once we have wood for it. And it turns out, actually, that Biry is going to be first to castle age. Despite what I was thinking.
Okay.
And sending 2 villagers somewhere. Build a blacksmith in the middle of the map. I guess just to get some vision on anything that might be incoming. King provides decent vision, although, so he sees the stable, sees stuff like that. Meanwhile, this king will see the wood line. But yeah, we're going to be waiting for the castle age to begin our action here. And that will be coming in momentarily. Ah, these villagers are standing around. Siege workshop right away. If they want, they could fight the spearman, right? The spearman has no armor bonuses right now. Or this spearman's gonna come home and help. Oh, we have another spearman coming in. And the first knight is out. Let me just switch over to where the game is running. And mute on focus loss, okay, that's fine, good. Cool. Back to this. So, siege to push in. Got our archery range, got fletching, got a siege workshop of our own. Going for cav archers versus knights. And these knights might actually get in soon, at this rate. Well, with the mangonel behind, okay. That one is low, might get repairs, might get destroyed. Both mangonels destroyed. Nezzar gonna have to try to get his mangonels to pop out on the backside. So neither player's added extra TCs. They realize that aggression is important on this relatively small map. 2 siege workshops here. Knights are still pushing in. They might break through at this point. This could come too late. Not. Only one knight there. One mangonel garrisoned here. So I guess, so matchup-wise, who wins later on? I think if Franks break through here, the knights just cause too much damage and it's over. Or just generally if this push breaks through. We're gonna see a monastery. That makes sense. And with redemption, that would be enough to hold. So this is just a palisade wall, that's not gonna change much. I think Biry might just break through before there's enough to defend here. I mean, monks, if they convert a knight to, the knight can then take out some mangonels. These cav archers are trying to do some damage, but not enough. Hello, hello! I'm casting a set from last weekend. I fast forwarded through it and it has some very good map generations. And there we go. Another calls GG here on the Socotra style. Basically, the push is in, and the cav archers aren't able to stop it. Monks are not out in time to stop it either. And also the push is right on the only gold in this part of the base. Of course, there is gold to expand to, but that's not the case right now. You know, given that there's no gold access, that is a time to call GG here. So, next up, I will find our game 2. Scroll, scroll, scroll. Spectate with capture age. Where's capture age? There we go. Alright. So what have we got here? It's a giant forest. Like at first I want to say oasis, but it's not even that. Like the backside here is closed here again. Closed up here as well. So unless players chop through, basically only this is it's half a map here. There's this interesting passage down the middle that doesn't have any relic or any reward at the back of it. It's just a passage. And it looks like we started with a Karambit warrior, an elite Karambit warrior. They might be dueling here? Perhaps. Biry's is very far forward, scouting back here. Might decide to bring it home now. So they randomed into Koreans versus Portuguese, and on this setup, fairly easy to wall if they decide to do it. And if it comes to that, late game wise, Koreans of course have extra range on their towers, which could be nice. Could be good for defense. Portuguese could if they really want to, and it's very choke pointy. You have bombard towers. Victorias, maybe. It could also be something where there's a wall and then, you know, castle drop the wall type of thing. Let's take a look at our resources while we're in the Dark Age. 307 in this Haveli now. There seems to be no food under the TC now. That suggests to me that the goats and geese and sheep didn't have so much food. It seems like the sheep actually did, the geese didn't. However, what actually happened is that Biry found them and hid them over there, which is why Nezzar is a bit short on food right now. Meanwhile, over here, this TC is also short on herdables. We have a few geese coming in. And okay, some sheep have been found here. The bear does not have any food on it. I think the chance that I only have like a 2% chance or maybe a 5% chance of food being on predators. I would have to check exactly what I have, but it's fairly low. These gazelles, 144, that's pretty standard. The woodlines have 100. That will be different in any matches that are played as of yesterday when I updated the map script. Then basically all the pine trees will have one amount and all the oak trees will have an amount. The stragglers will be different. You can also check the forage bush, 263. Gold, that's... okay, this one has a lot, this one doesn't have so much. This one has even less. This is kind of forward, but pretty good. Okay, the stone piles are pretty far forward as well here. We attacking villagers? Ah. That is a large number of bears. And the villager died, despite being inside the walls. Oh no! The bear was somehow hitting through the diagonal. So, given that we have 3 bears there, that will put a dampener on a forward aggression. Geese are being brought home here. So if we look at the resource positions here, okay, we've got one nice back gold there. 904, that's a good one. Then we have a back stone, forward stone. Here, these 266. I think 266 is just a neutral stone, isn't it? Probably. Yeah, so that's the neutral stone. That's over on Nezzar's side. Meanwhile, this 944 is one of the 3 golds. Where's the 1280 gold over here? Fairly forward. Okay, so I mean, they each have different resources forward, respectively, but overall controlling these 2 hills here will be important. That's where you need your castle. Relic-wise, I see 1 there. I see 1 back there. I see 1 up there. There was 1 back there, and there's also 1 way back here. And was there another one in this corner too? And another one there. So we won't see a relic victory because players are not going to reach these resources anytime soon. I was watching the cast of the game just a moment ago where there wasn't a relic victory, but there was 1 player who captured all the relics and held them for good, like 150 years. Alright, we're up to feudal on 22 villagers. And we're going forward archery range. So these are yellow. This was actually Biry had sent a villager forward to sneak, perhaps, to build a sneak, and just got overrun by bears. And then attracted all the bears to one spot, which allows this somewhat forward production space to be built. Portuguese archers coming out. We've got a bit of a wall here. The elite Gambit warriors low. Does have 8 attack, but these villagers are all full health. They won't be taking any damage just yet. Check these scouting. Oh. The archers, though, on the stone. It was interesting, too, right? Biry's heavily on stone. Still in Dark Age. Hasn't even reached feudal yet. Of course, Korean stone miners work faster. You can sell the stone at the market that you don't have yet. You can also get a castle down immediately and go for war wagons once you reach Castle Age. But right now, not looking too pretty here for Biry. We have archers preventing the walling. We have a tower coming up on the stone. And that is the only stone. Oh, this stone is probably inaccessible, I want to say. Maybe not. Maybe you can actually get all the way back there. Not easily accessible. There's this stone too, but that's board as well. Are they trapped? Yes. But they are only temporarily trapped until this palisade wall goes down. The market trap here is pretty good. But Biry still forced back. Forced off stone. Doesn't quite actually have the stone for a castle. Forced to delete this before it gets destroyed, perhaps. And the big trap... Well, at least it's a nice sturdy wall to the TC. Also falling over here. And... Okay, he did click up to Castle Age now. Nezzar's not going to be too far behind, though, with these resources. And managed to secure a lot of map presence with this feudal age aggression, right? Like, the middle is at least somewhat secured. You've got a tower, you have production buildings, you have line of sight, you have military. And There is gold enough to fall back on, but not a huge amount. Well, it's enough. Portuguese are actually over there. Portuguese have already collected, or are still collecting, forage bushes.
Quais são as vossas ordens?
Gates. There's a hole there, I want to say, but would lead to the TC, so. 2 villagers are garrisoned to make sure the TC actually shoots. So it's defended for now. Both players will be up to Castle Age soon. And Biry, I didn't see it. Oh, I did see it. Bought the stone to buy the castle. Or potentially for defensive towers, but it's going to be a castle. And meanwhile, Nezzar just using the forward villagers to mine some of this stone. Might as well when you're there. Very defensive castle, but you know, you need one that will actually go up. And well, the archers are moving in because no one was garrisoned. Quick walls, though. Quick walls force the archers back, cause a lot of damage. Most of the archers are dead. And the castle will go up. And what do we see as a follow-up? We see a monastery, we see a siege workshop. We see anything else? Plenty of farms back here. More on stone as well. Nezzar's gonna want a castle in the middle. Cement this position. And the monastery, of course, to convert war wagons. And if we do the, what was it, shift... How does this work again? Shift right click. Oh, shift right click. Yeah, okay. War wagons coming in. The villagers can hide in the tower if they can get past the palisade walls. Oh, that was close. Because it's only 3 archers, we're not seeing the crossbow upgrade. Not really worth it in that case. See a mangonel coming forward. That would be useful if there were crossbows around. Villagers retreating a bit. Mangonel could push the watchtower, but perhaps not the highest priority at this point. We see Redemption come in and Sanctity. These vills are out of position. Oh. War wagons need to run though, otherwise they'll get converted. And Redemption has come in, so now target switched and the mangonel's converted, which is nice. The question is, I guess, what do we transition into from here? Biry's made her battering ram, that's just to clear out the tower. And I guess the forward houses. Nezzar's got the stone, gonna secure this hill back at home just to defend. And it looks like we might reach a bit of the late game. And neither player's added another TC, but they also haven't built much in the way of aggression. It's only 2 war wagons here. And basically 3 monks, 3 leftover archers, and the converted mangonel. But if they're booming, then yeah, we'd expect to see more town centers added. Which is what's happening, and we might also, once there's enough stone for it, see another one, say, somewhere back here. Gold is... There isn't a huge amount of gold. yeah, it's not a huge amount of gold here. Until you're gonna have to be fighting for the middle pretty soon. Yeah, free tower upgrade. Biry's built a tower here just to secure these resources. We have a bunch of villagers on stone. We have imp coming in. Fast imp from the Portuguese. That would explain staying on 1TC. We also see, are these fortified? They're stone walls at the moment still, but walling up to the castle. So in this case, we expect to see gunpowder, right? Hand cannoneers, bombard cannons, that type of thing. Or, you know, theoretically you could go fast imp into Vitorias, but that's probably not what we're gonna see. Meanwhile here, it's 3TC boom, right? TC, TC, castle's keeping us safe, guard tower, protection, ram down the 4 buildings, ram might get converted. Ram is running home. War wagons might get converted, but are also going to run away. That stone is going to be gone too pretty soon, though, and then this stone. This stone, yeah. So Nezzar lucked out a bit with the stone by having this back stone and having one of the neutral ones sort of on his side. But gold-wise, it's these 2 piles only. While there is another neutral one here that I expect. Alright, let's see. Has not been spotted. So that's our scouting here from our orange player. And that is our scouting from our blue player. Neither has really checked all the way to the back. They probably tried to send a unit there and the unit didn't path that way. They assumed it's closed. Meanwhile, looking at our center, we have a bunch of monks. We have a monk treb push going on here. This tower goes down before it goes up. And the Treb's just going to move up and take out this tower. Now, I guess the question is, what is the response to this? We see Elite Skirmisher being teched. Against what? Against hand cannons? But there are no hand cannons. Against the monks? I guess. I guess if you're worried about running out of gold, it is a trash unit. These towers will buy, or just buying time. That's all they're doing here, but not buying very much time. Bombard cannon, treb, more trebs. So can Biry do anything at that point? Still in Castle Age 2. Almost, well, no, it doesn't really have the resources. Not the right resource distribution for him. But this might just be over, right? Like, there's a big eco lead, but I'm not seeing what the response to the fast imp is. University or ballistics? Maybe? I mean, yeah, skirmisher's not the best unit against monks. They don't deal much, like, it's just being out-healed. And there's the converted mangonel. Both of them have a bit of an AI army with a lot of different units here. Organ guns being added now. We see crossbow. That makes sense. But won't be so easy with the siege around. And goes down. AI army. We just have spearmen for reasons. I guess just in case scouts appear. We do have scouts, so makes sense, I guess. But if this castle goes down, I think Biry is just dead, right? There is plenty of eco, but not much room to back up into. It's all still woodlines. And still in Castle Age. I don't really see an answer to this. 3 scouts, we've got 8 crossbows, queuing up more crossbows, but... What do we have in here? We have mangonels. Could do something, but at this point, you know, the monks could start converting buildings with Redemption. Or just do this. Yeah. Oh, killed his own mangonel. Because it got converted. This is very over, right? Yeah. Fast him into victory in this case. Giving us a, nope, 1-1. Alright, and our next game... I could look at the stats. But I mean, we saw the game, right? It's actually not many units overall. 17 conversions, though. Pretty good. And the eco lead wasn't enough to hold against the fast imp. Game number 3 is this one here, which we can spectate with Capture Age. And I'm going to pause it as we start because... Let me just... there we go. Clean that up. Perfect. And let's continue. So, this time, we have sort of like a, you know, Crater Lake, Baltic, Central Lake map, let's say. And players have started with an armored elephant, which is a ram for all intents and purposes. It also takes extra damage from villagers.
Sorry.
So... it's not as dangerous as it looks. Overall map layout wise, we have the double center lake split. We have a big woodline on this one. The woodline was deleted on this one. We have large amounts of gold here. We also have the oysters, which you can gather with villagers. You can't gather them with fishing ships unless antiquity mode is active, which it isn't in this tournament. Cow A. Alright, this elephant is going places. Oh, they don't have a very good line of sight. And just passing. Nope, 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 nope. I saw an elephant marching towards my base, so we're not gonna allow that. Because they are living units, though, they can't be repaired either. So you send your elephant forward, and it's just... It, you know, takes damage and it dies. Okay, we're going for a hill. But... now we have got villagers here, and... this blue elephant... he's actually doing reasonably well, presumably because Dravidians have a bonus that applies even in Dark Age to elephants, armored elephants, or was just lucky with the hills, but I don't think he was. I don't remember what bonus that would be for Dravidians. They take less bonus damage? Is that Dravidians? I do not remember. Normally I'd know this type of stuff, but not. What is it? Elephant archers, that's not it. Checking. Elephants regenerate, that's not the case. Siege units. No, I'm not seeing a bonus that would apply in Dark Age to elephants. So, right. Nezzar has gone for a dock. Walled in to get some shorefish. The shorefish have about 100, it seems. 33. And we're gonna see a dock here as well. Biry. And resource-wise, we've got several gold mines that are roughly normal. And decent amount of stone. Vast amounts of berries. And we started with a siege workshop too, actually. On top of it all, there seem to be some bears that you won't run into if you follow the coastline.
Hey.
There's a forward village. No, there's a forward villager. Why is there a forward villager? Just for scouting purposes? For laming?
See?
I mean, did find a cow, I guess. Biry already tried this last match and lost the forward villager to bears. Oh, he probably walked all along the shore to check for docks. Yeah, okay, he was checking for docks, and he didn't see the dock. That's unfortunate. That's very unfortunate. He was checking for docks, decided not to scout with the elephant somewhat wisely, and elephant here is gonna die to a bear. That is sad. I guess it's not a very useful scout, though. You could take out an opponent's house if you're lucky. Or you can keep it around and use it later as part of a push with archers, maybe. Break through a wall. But you probably shouldn't actually send it out to scout. You should send a villager out to scout. And both players are doing that. Let's, what was it, shift click? Nezzar sending a villager forward as well to scout. Neither has seen the other player's dock yet. And I see a bear incoming. Yeah. Bears on both sides. Nezzar's scouting with villagers on both sides. And Biry scouting as well, villagers. And basically that's if you start with this a ram or an armored elephant, you should scout with villagers. We have 5 fishing ships versus 2. We've got a fire galley now. Guess it's time to take a look at the whole map again. You have side barracks coming up there. Loom only coming in now. That might have been something to pick up earlier if you're going to send villagers out scouting. Would be sensible. Although I guess at this level you can quick wall your villager in. Or quick wall in a bear if you run into one and it's okay. Archery range coming up as well for our Dravidians. And so yeah, Spanish Dravidians is our matchup here. It's close. She better head home, and she is. Alright, has this fire done anything? No. Alright, I've got to check. I'm gonna have to check the, Okay, he has seen the dock, though. Perhaps just wanting to scout the rest of the body of water first. Scouting is very important on HyperRandom. Okay, this villager's been trapped.
Monday?
He's gonna stab this mining camp for 5 damage a hit. won't be escaping anytime soon. Actually, he's not trapped. He's quick-walled in
Servidor.
himself. He's just being a nuisance. The siege workshop is interesting once you reach Castle Age, I suppose. Got archers coming out here. This fire galley is now starting to harass the fishing ships. And then I guess Nezzar needs to decide if he wants to dock the other body of water as well. Probably sensible. There isn't a huge amount of fish in either of them, right? There's a nice collection here. Other than that, it's mostly shorefish at this point. We have a lot of stone piling up for Biry. Just sold 2 of it for gold. That can be profitable. And we have Castle Age coming in, and we could see conquistadors, given that there is stone for a castle. Where's the failure galley being produced? In this lake. There will be 3 fishing ships left. Also, only shorefish left, though, so... You can afford to lose water, but then it gets hard to push, right? Water is useful, you know, if you have cannon galleons in the late game. Or indeed just war galleys can range quite a bit. We've got our 2 fishing ships here still getting a bit of fish. Only 2 left here, but 3 on the other side. It's a nice sliver of an isthmus. Forward castle, it seems. But...
Hey.
Nezzar has mostly walled. There's a hole here that needs to be walled. But this should be fully walled. Which will limit the amount of damage that the castle can do. These villagers... Okay, they're gonna go around. Nezzar will have seen this, and... There's a gap. There's a gap here. Okay, the villagers are gonna chop wood. Because we don't actually have stone for a castle yet. Force dropping a bunch of stone, it's not quite enough. Well, at this point...
Servidor.
Yeah, I guess you could drop the castle here. Not quite the impact that the castle drop could have had. Meanwhile, the archers from here have circled around, caused a bit of disruption, caused these towers to go up. I suppose that's what happened, actually, right? The towers cost... The archers forced up the towers, which meant that the stone for the castle was delayed. And more archers could be useful in harassing some of these resources. Yeah. Nezzar walling behind here. Castle not producing anything doesn't really make sense too, because it's... I mean, actually you could produce petards, maybe. Bust your way through the wall. But walls behind are already there, so less of a need for that. We see War Galley coming in. That's probably sensible. Water control could be useful. You could even land villagers, perhaps, if you need to. Or want to. I'm also interested if players will attempt to use the oysters. At this point, there's no real need, right? It's 295 gold, while here you have 700. You wouldn't really go for it. The way I've set it up on HyperRandom right now, that's cute, is that unless you have antiquity mode active, the oysters will only spawn either on beaches or in maps where there's a lot of shallows. Some of them might spawn on water, but they'll spawn mainly on shallows. There is a demo raft here, but I mean, given the amount of fish, what do we have left here? 244. Rarely losing water control isn't that bad, except that these resources are real close to the shore. That's why the tower here helps. And the monk also helps. If they weren't so close to the shore, you could just give up this lake for now. These resources are a bit further from the shore, but yeah, with this big gold pile right here, it is perhaps worth fighting for, and monk is doing a good job. Monk and tower. So eco roughly even overall. Second TC added here for Biry, being added over here for Nezzar. We have a conquistador now, and the conquistador is just chilling. These villagers might actually create an opening at this rate. I think it's, you know, 100 and however many, 46 wood to get through. That's doable. Meanwhile, on the other side, this dock will go up, but only because the fire might go up.
Presto.
Yeah, it's gonna go up,
Servidor.
but close call.
Sí.
The villager, why is
Presto.
he even gonna make it out? So we've got dock here, dock here, dock here. Nice collection of buildings here, which we expect. Alright, shift. Both players are aware of most of what's going on at this point on the map. So we have in here, okay, I got a couple ships. Chopping down these trees could actually be the opening that we're looking for. It's 100 wood. And then the 2 conquistadors could be in. Meanwhile, what have we got here? Nothing. Both players are sort of kind of fighting for the water at the moment. We're pushing with siege. I think these villagers are just gathering wood because that was near the castle. But theoretically, they will have made an opening as well. And what's our response to this? Oh, this walled-in villager tried to build a tower, but wasn't there to see what happened there. I think maybe the counter tower, that probably was the answer to it. Potentially the monks. Skirmishers will do okay against the conquistadors. Elite skirmishers, certainly, but what are we going to do against the ram? I guess use the villagers. Fighting for the water continues. We've got a monk here. Could convert a fire galley. Fire ship. Could also take the relic. Third TC coming up, securing more of this nice trias of gold. And there's an opening. There's an opening here. I don't know... Oh, the villagers have gone here to build another castle. We've got a counter castle here. And this opening doesn't actually matter because the front is open too. These will go up, presumably. But this castle creep is starting to encroach on the base, yeah. I guess push is stalled here. How are we looking on resources for Imp? not that close yet. That should be what's on players' minds now, because get to imp first, and you can treb down some of these castles. You know, either on this side or from this side. Skirmishers going after the ram, they'll take it down eventually. Oh, we see have a monk coming? Monks, several monks, okay. This is a sensible wall to close the gap here. Of course, the other side is open and has been open the whole time. Nezzar has a couple units loitering around. Also, actually, the middle is technically open. Of course, very vulnerable to, say, a demolition ship.
See? Monday? See?
The ram destroyed the university. And, okay. Seems one ram was actually destroyed. Okay. Manga now pushing this ram back. Conquistadors. Alright. Imp here. Resources for Imp not quite there for Biry yet. Which does give Nezzar a bit of a window to try and push back against this. However, the villagers are here and could perhaps repair on the coastline. Interestingly, this dock isn't being targeted. Also alive, also has a demo. Demo could come out and kill repair villagers. If the castle doesn't reroute its fire on the demo immediately, which it would now normally do.
See?
Ram is gonna go down to villagers here. Or go down to skirmishers. There's still an opening here. Alright. Both players on 3 TCs at this point. These juicy berry bushes. Serving for mid-game food. Now, there is always more in terms of neutral resources that can be expanded to. Not that much extra gold. There's these 3 tile golds. Oh, okay, they're pretty decent. And the 2 tile gold here is also pretty decent. Okay, decent neutral resources, in fact. Imp is in. We have chemistry coming in. We have a treb being trained. We have these villagers. Where are they going? They got garrisoned. Going back into the castle. Imp almost in here as well, though. So I guess this is where things are going to be decided. Masonry coming in, that is sensible. Nezzar lost his university, though. Can't be researching that. Actually, got one, of course, but is prioritizing chemistry. Getting a second castle up here as well. Meanwhile, water control is, at this point, except for this one demo, yeah, it's basically... Biry's got full water control, also in for chemistry now. Cannon galleons could seal the deal. There is still this side base, but... Dravidians don't have very good cavalry. Ideally, you know, you'd send in, like, light cav or hussars here, but it's gonna have to be skirmishers. Because this is all very open and could be raided. Alright, this castle being repaired, this would be a time to demo the villagers, but there are a lot of things to think about. You could also try to demo the treb. This castle also looking like it's gonna go down, yeah. And the treb wars continue here. No clear winner in that. Redemption coming in, ballistics coming in. Demo is still available. skirmishers are denying farmland. This wood line is not looking pretty. Alright, looks like this castle's gonna go down. Looks like the TC might go down as well. No, what's being... Oh, the bombard cannon is being targeted. Makes sense. Alright, looks like Nezzar is actually pushing this back. Forward villagers forced to retreat. We have bombard cannons as well. With chemistry, now would be the time to add cannon galleons, no? I mean, of course you have to make sure they don't get converted. That would be not so good. I'm not gonna stream too many of them, but a few of them. Like when other people are streaming, I'll happily watch their streams instead, but I've been streaming a bit. And this is a good set. Alright, Arbs. Okay, there are a lot of exposed villagers, but fire galleys are doing work, and the mangonel is also doing work. Alright, castle... Yeah, that's more realistic than over there, because defensive castle is already up. See another TC here on some gold on the wood. Arbs are still alive. Fast fire. Okay, so it looks like... And one dock. Looks like Nezzar is actually thinking about retaking water. He's managed to push back the forward castles here. And he's also sitting here now with a bit of a good eco lead. And is continuing to idle a fair amount of villagers. Perhaps more than really need to be idle at this point, but the Arbs are a threat. We have supremacy coming in, that will help the villagers. And what do we have here? Is that 3 trebs versus 1? Demo... Yeah, our Dravidians player here is trying to push back against the Spanish at this point. Would have liked to see Spanish cannon galleons about 5 minutes ago. But Biry calls the GG here. Can't quite deal with this being pushed back. And also hasn't really teched into any military other than ships. It doesn't have any production buildings at home. There's a siege workshop. Stable here, but not really much to push back against this at the moment. Still has water control, and water control is worthwhile, but decides to call the GG here in any case. Yeah, I think Spanish cannon galleons here, if you can get to them, are definitely the play. I mean, this set, I had looked through the Rex just because I was looking through all the Rex, but I looked through them at like 8 times speed and I saw, okay, there were some fun map generations. So I thought I would stream this one. I don't just stream like random pro games, but it's also I'm, hosting this tournament, so especially for the main bracket, it would be nice if someone streams most of the events. Dave will cover more of them later on when it's more close sets and bigger names playing. And some people like Blackadder Plays has really been covering a lot. We have a couple people who've been covering a lot of games from the lower divisions. Yeah, fun too. And there would have even been the oysters to take as well on this one. Anyway, Next set, or next game, the set, we should probably actually update the scoreboard. This was a win for Nezzar, who needs to win now one more to win this set. And the lead map. And scroll, scroll, scroll. Game number 4. Spectate with Capture Age. And then I'm going to grab a drink before we start with this one. But let's take a look what the map looks like first. And what we started scouting, a scouting unit with. Yeah, there we go. Think about that. I'll be back in a second. All right. So yeah, we start with the sergeant. The first set that we watched was a bit of a Socotra style map. And the next one was very, not Black Forest, but very forested and closed. Not closed, but very forested. And limited space. Then we had our central lakes, and this is kind of an Arabia style, but with 2 neutral markets. And fairly hilly. Interestingly, I think I shouldn't click on this because it's going to crash the game, so I won't on the neutral market. Oh, okay, it won't crash the game. I don't know. People were saying that in Capture Age, clicking on neutral buildings would crash the game. Maybe the market is fine. Do I think we will see trade? No, probably not. But there's the option for it. Also, for some reason, the hill didn't generate here, so it's just a flat trade. I put it on this unwallable terrain so you can't wall in the market. Yeah, there was... I don't remember what the issue was. Maybe it was other unconvertible Gaia buildings. I tested it with Battle Royale, and that was just crashing left, right, and center. But maybe it was also fixed in this hotfix. Or this patch, this tiny patch that was last week. Or maybe the neutral market that I'm using in this case is unaffected by that issue. Okay, we have Armenians, and Nezzar here is taking advantage of this to take these ibex, which only have 51 food each. And Sergeant going forward. Dark Age Sergeant, not that strong though. Sergeant. And this for 235, also not that much food. Berry bush, only 1 forage bush. Are these ibex? 51 as well. Yeah, not all that much food. 183 on the deer. Not all that much food around. Looks like Biry's found some llamas and is bringing those home. And is also long distance hunting the low food ibex over here. There are some good llamas worth getting over there. Now it seems the players are a bit short on food. So they have to push out of it, which is fine. You know, that's what HyperRandom is about. It's seeing what you get in terms of resources and then adapting to that, adapting to what's on the map. This snow mixture is a bit messy visually on the eyes. I don't mind snow itself, but this stuff is a bit visually cluttered, I find personally. Let's see how the gold is looking. This gold has a lot, these two don't. Stone averages out to be about standard. Neutral gold, pretty good. Neutral gold, pretty good. I mean, that's part of the reason why you don't see trade typically, is because most games don't go to the point. Like, if the game goes to the point where the map's gold runs out, then players absolutely should go for trade, but it probably won't. How many games? Let's see here. How many games would you say are needed to get the exact same generation again? So... perhaps not as many as you might think. Of course, there are all kinds of things that are being randomized, right? However, they're being randomized. What happens is the game has like generates a random seed. That's a number. And then that number is used whenever, any start random, end random is called, whenever anything random is called. So, if that same seed appears again, then you can get the exact same generation. Yeah, Mega Random has like 46, I want to say, maps, something of that order of magnitude. HyperRandom doesn't have a set of maps. It has just different elements that are being combined. You can get maps that look very similar to ones that you've had before, but you can't go to the script and pick them out because they don't exist in there as separate maps. Getting the same seed should be very rare. I feel like the game's random number generator isn't as good as it could be. Like, if you go in the scenario editor, sometimes it just gets into a loop where it will generate the same maps, the same 3 maps or same 5 maps again. But if it were perfect, the random number generator, then it would be astronomically unlikely that you get the same map again. Hello, did you finish your stream? What do we have here? We have a failed forward tower. Yeah, I haven't been really watching what was happening here because we were theorizing about how likely it is to get the same map again. Yeah, makes sense. Well, you could have just... Actually, can you raid without finishing? I guess you just continue, like if you raid someone and keep streaming, then you're just part of the raid at that point. What is this? Like, it looks like Biry still wants to get that forward tower down and is going to make another attempt. Or is just going to Vil fight? This would be you want the tower over here. There's already a forward archer, right? It's just a massive Vil fight. Are Burgundians particularly good at Vil fighting? No Civ is. Okay, that's a defensive tower. Tower here... So Nezzar is in a bit of a pit, caldera, surrounded by hills. So having towers and archers around isn't so good. This one doesn't go up though. And we have more Vils boxing. Are there any more forward villagers? Well, that just... I think this tower push has been successfully defended against. Ah, right. Berbers, they move faster and Poles regenerate a small amount or something. Alright, we're sending more... Yeah, looks like there are 4 more villagers coming forward. And interestingly enough, like, the vill count is still even despite the losses here. Because there have been... Wow, there have been eco kills on both sides and about the same number. So the action is going to be over here, where we're going to see if this tower gets finished or not. Whole bonus is gone in Dark Age. Makes sense. They really did remove most. I guess you have some small bonus like Koreans and more line of sight on villagers, but that's not a combat bonus. And the faster movement speed means you can chase someone down, but it doesn't mean you'll win one-on-one necessarily. Yeah, exactly. They don't really want Dark Age shenanigans. Okay, tower goes up, but what is the tower denying? It's denying the archery range. It's not denying the stone. It's ranging this tower, and this tower's on lower elevation. I guess that's good. And the build boxing continues. I guess it could be a starting point for another tower. So I feel the tower here, or just towers over here, would have been more useful in the gold, no? It's over here. 3 archers, and they're gonna pick off a couple weak villagers. And we have more build boxing. The problem with having all your production buildings forward is you then have to pull your army back. You can't produce anything at home to defend. Skirmishers running around here, trying to harass some villagers, but being attacked by the tower. Meanwhile, archers got a villager kill here, got another one here. Eco KD is now 7 to 12 or 12 to 7 in favor of Nezzar here, having managed to pick off a couple more villagers. Towers are just fighting. These skirmishers are... They could be going to this gold. That would be a sensible place for them to go. Or they could be fighting these archers and skirmishers. That would be even more sensible. Yeah, and then on HyperRandom Nomad, you'll get a treaty mode, so there's less fill fighting as well. Although the treaty ends when both players have built a TC, so if you build very close, you can still end up with Dark Age fighting after that. Okay, archers have been cleared. There are a couple archers and skirmishers here. And, alright, forced off the gold here. Is there gold to retreat to? There is gold to retreat to. Let's check the scouting of both players. Both players know that the markets exist because I changed it so those are highlighted at the start of the game. Yeah, Biry knows that all the important gold is here. And if we, well, I learned this trick, right? Switch views. Nezzar has a bit better scouting, doesn't know about the gold in the corner. Doesn't actually know about any neutral gold other than this one here, which is a bit far forward. There is more to be had, but it's hiding outside of the scouted area. Tower war continues. And, alright, these skirmishers have gone forward. They're gonna pick off a villager, but they're not very good at fighting villagers. There's only one archer in the mix. Skirmishers are going for the archer, and then these villagers are gonna chase the skirmishers, but this villager might go down. This set is not live. It's Rex. Attacks are very loud. I'll turn them down. Go like that, maybe? I wonder, are they coming from the game or are they coming from Capture Age, the sounds?
Yes, trust him.
I have, theoretically my game should be muted on focus loss, so it should be in Capture Age. You know what? Let's try that. Settings, sound, combat volume. I already have this stuff lower. Attack notification. I guess we could turn it to none. Current play. That might actually be sensible. Yeah, let's do that. And you can still see the flashing on the minimap and hear the sounds. Unit train is... What do we have here? Unit train. None. What else are we? Research complete. Research complete isn't loud though. Conversions, that's all fine. I guess. Combat, these are all lower already. That's good. Well, the sounds help. Alright. Scout gets picked off. This sergeant is still alive, this Burgundian sergeant. 7 HP. So, what have we got here? Alright. Skirmishers coming in for another round. They're all low though. After all of this, we have no one on gold here. That makes sense actually. So I guess Nezzar has just been buying the gold that he needs, going for mostly skirmishers. After all this though, he is ahead in villagers. And it has cleared the tower. Just has this military loitering around. Yeah, the attack sounds were quite loud, I've got to say, that's true. This guy. I don't know. Was, I believe, among the... It's not displaying... Oh, it only displays the ELO for live games, doesn't it? Yeah, probably. We have some mini walls coming up here that secure nothing because this is open. Theoretically secure some things. I hear penguin sounds. 48 food on the penguins. Skirmishers going in for another raid. Nah, both of these are higher than that. Everyone in the main bracket was like at least 2k something. The penguin hero. When do I spawn that? I think I very rarely spawn the hero units. Like you can get the hero penguin. You can get a neutral alpha the alpaca spawn or an iron boar, but only like a 1% chance or so. This is the main bracket, yeah. Yeah, apparently. Oh, everyone in the main bracket is over 2k, I think 2-1 at least. Well, I made a extreme version for HyperRandom, which sort of going to try to steal back some of the audience from BasyRandom. Same idea, you know, all the, you can have chances for more buildings, you can have all the scouts. You know, you can start with a Cobra car, theoretically. So Castle Age coming in for both players. The trapped units here have escaped, or were never really that trapped. And where is Biry gathering wood at this point? Nowhere. Which means that we're going to run out of villagers to quick wall, or wood to quick wall. I guess they can go back over here now and get hit again. Meanwhile, the skirmisher is just attacking a house. They're actually going to destroy it, probably. Let's see. HyperRandom Extreme doesn't add any, and it's basically HyperRandom as well. It gives you, it has Defend the Wonder. It doesn't randomly give you Regicide. That I could still add in, maybe. You can play King of the Hill on it, though. Alright, let's see. Castle Age, what are we gonna have here? I think at this point... Alright. Well, okay. Nezzar is pulling back. Gonna try to get up a TC here because this is all sloped and it's hard to get a TC up there. Biry going for Elite Skirmisher. Sending in some Knights. And we see some Cav Archers in the queue here. For Nezzar. Yeah. HyperRandom Extreme is in HyperRandom map pack. As of a week, 2 weeks ago. BasyRandom is based on an earlier version of HyperRandom, and then with the chances for certain things made a lot more likely, so that you end up with, you know, a ring of Grepposts and triple scouts. Okay, so this TC actually gets stalled. Denied? Probably not.
See.
Oh, another villager goes down. Costly TC, though. So without the attack notifications, I'm being a bit lazy, I feel. TC is still not up. This is pretty big, and that's also leading to a bit of an eco swing here with all the villagers that are dying trying to get it up. Alright, now it's going to go up, but that was pretty good for Biry to stall that out and kill all those villagers. At this point, Biry's got a bit of an eco lead, a bit of a military lead, decent military lead. Still has this forward archery range. So basically this TC, it does secure some wood. It doesn't even secure the gold though. I guess it wasn't possible to build one on the gold. But man, Nezzar needs to have found the neutral gold there or there. That would be useful. Or there's technically the market. But wow. Players aren't going to use the market. Aren't going to trade with the market. You definitely have to be able to play non-meta, adapt to what you get. If it's, you might get a very open land map and then you can just do your Arabia meta, but often that's not the case. Alright, this gold is not very secure. And actually what could end the game is if Biry manages to get a castle up here. Or I suppose just siege pushing the TC away. Because this gold is the only gold for Nezzar right now. And yeah, Nezzar calls GG. TC doesn't actually secure the gold. And hasn't found any other gold that's close by. And didn't use the market. Neither player used the market. But yeah, we saw a lot of Vil fighting in this one. This is round of 32. Still. It's a set of... I wanted to cast it already like on Monday, but I didn't have time. What is this? Alright, let's go... Doop. Which means we get a game 5, which I did actually know ahead because I looked at the Rex. Map. I didn't remember who won which sets, which game specifically, but I knew it would go to a game 5. They actually used both Rees as well, so I didn't show those, but they had seven games overall. Alright, this one is the one that's worth watching though. So, we're gonna have to stop. So, we start with 2 bases. We start with some fire towers, 4 fire towers. We start with a blacksmith. We start with tents, and we start with a VMDL scout. For some reason, Captrage called it a villager. And we start with triple scouts, and we start with triple scouts at each base. There's one there.
Whatever these
2.
things are on my head. On the head.
Make it a bit louder so that we can. So basically, we're starting with 6 VMDL scouts. This one I needed to cast. So maybe we even do something like, how do we do this? Let's do the shared. Alt D. Something like that. And we can get going. Because these guys are super fast, right? So and also I didn't put auto scout on them because I thought, that would be overpowered to have these guys auto scouting. So you have to manually scout them around. I put auto scout on all the non-standard units that you can start with, like all the heroes, but I didn't put it on this because I thought that would be it would be too hard to, they just be sprinting around the map the whole time. Do I play ranked? I have played ranked. I don't regularly play ranked. I played like once this year, once last year, and probably like 20, 30 times before then. Not a huge number of games. It probably doesn't work for the goat because it's like an animal. Technically it would have it, but it also like, I'm not sure it works for the relic cart as well. Yeah, anyway, these guys are running around like crazy. If we go Alt D, it also checks, that's that, and then we go, what is it, Shift R? Who is being more active here? Nezzar is definitely being more active with his scouting. Well, we have a lot of idle. Oh, that's just a goat. Okay, that's a goat. It takes a lot of APM to manage 2 TCs and 6 scouts. watch both players scout some more. Also, they have the fire towers. We have Italians versus Gujaras, so might as well use the Gujara bonus to garrison some stuff on the mill. Yeah, it is 2 TC, so that means essentially just gives a big eco boost. Means we reach the castle age much faster. There's not much potential to do damage in feudal. I don't think you can even bring the things that you find home because they'll just get captured again. And both players should have excellent vision of the map overall.
Yeah?
They're so fast they can just run through the base and fire is still going. Is there any... There's no other action. We can just watch these guys run around a bit more. Yeah, if you don't go affiliate on Twitch, then at least in the past you didn't get ads. I think that's still the case. And there's not much benefit unless you have a bigger viewership. Like, I have a small viewership, so it's not really worth a couple of cents that I might get from ad revenue. Both players on the way to feudal with 45 villagers each. Fire towers unable to contain these mega fast scouts. And both players are sort of just sending like their whole group of scouts as a single control group around. Longer stream saves. You get 1 week and then you can just highlight your entire stream. So you can save as many highlights as you want. So what I do with my streams is I go after each stream, take the whole stream, make it into a giant highlight, and save that. These are villagers.
Bongo drums on the head.
They have... Wait. They actually, no, they do have 3 attack. It's like the VMDL. I guess they can attack. I think they can also place foundations, but they can't build. I'm not an expert on the topic.
Wearing the, whatever these things are on my head.
Effectively, I don't think they attack super fast. And the towers provide a certain amount of defense. Oh, I don't think... No, it looks like they're not actually... Look, 0 damage. They can't actually attack despite having attack. It seems. Otherwise they would have attacked this tower now.
Bongo drums on the head.
Yeah, you have infinite highlights. You only have 7 days to go and save your highlight, but once you save it as a highlight, it's still there. Could also be, but these... Yeah, there's some units where you have to click every time. Anyway, it's like it's a cheat unit, right?
Whatever these things are on my head. Bongo drums on the head.
Alright, so we've got Castle Age coming in. We have 2 fishing ships. Interesting. Ships. We're gonna have to start talking about the games soon. For now, we can just watch them run around a bit more. Yeah, that's a good tip though with the highlights. Originally, like back in the day, you could just save past broadcasts no matter what your status, and they changed it at some point. But you can highlight anything and save the highlights, which is essentially does supremacy apply to them? Probably not. Maybe. Probably not though.
Yeah?
I think there's a cheat that turns all your villagers into these.
Things are on my head.
Or it spawns one? I don't remember what the cheat does. Maybe it just spawns them. Anyway. Do we watch them run around a bit more? Yeah, probably. So, map itself is water map. There's water on the inside, water on the outside. You demo all of these shallows. We have Nezzar going for a castle on reaching castle age. And the players have resources at each of their bases. Not a huge amount of building space, though. These hills in the middle will be useful. The castle is on a hill. It doesn't secure anything other than the hill. It doesn't really protect the eco either. The fire towers don't have great range. They're not that good defensively, only very locally. Yeah, let's watch the game. Yeah, the castle is up on a hill, but other than that, it's not the greatest position, I'd say. We have Shrivamsha, one Shrivamsha rider going in. It's can't dodge the fire tower because the fire tower has a high attack rate. What do we have here? Also, Shrivamsha riders coming in. Oh, and we have the scout army arriving.
Bongo drum in the head. Whatever these things are on my head.
How are they? Alright, well the fire towers aren't super accurate though. Let's see, siege workshop here. Question is how much emphasis to place on water. You could definitely demo in the shallows. You could also get cannon galleons later on, which could be useful. Right now though, these Shrivamsha riders do have the potential to just disrupt the eco quite a bit. Nezzar is going fast imp. Such. And will... Hasn't teched into anything yet. Is just going fast imp into gunpowder, perhaps? Or... What are we seeing? We're seeing mostly just defensive quick walls. Yeah, you need to be accurate as well. These fire towers, they are causing damage, but not all that much damage. Against something like a ram, they'll do a lot of damage. Or they'll do consistent, sustained damage. Against something slow. Okay, we have siege elephants coming in. That we can see how the tower does against these. Well, it's doing more than a normal tower would do, but also not that much either. And they don't have murder holes currently, so... We see condottiere. 1, 2, 3. Fast imp into condos versus siege and Shrivamshas. And it seems mostly action is happening here because these two bases are a bit closer together. Reb rolling out towards somewhere. Shrivamshas still riding around. Armored elephants. Starting to wreck this base. They took out one of the towers. Things happening over here. Alright. Isolated condo raids. Condos going into raid here. Shrivamsha raiding here. And elephants continuing to push here. You can allow things custom units to be built in a map script. I generally try to avoid that type of thing, even on HyperRandom. I don't want to change too many game mechanics. These villagers are all dead. Scorpions, Shrivamshas. interesting also how the fire tower can shoot much further than its range, if it's, or at least maybe cap range is rendering it as such. Condos are causing damage here, but there are a lot of idle villagers in this TC right now. This base is not in great shape. And we're not... Yeah, there isn't much active eco right now, it's all being raided. Perhaps the fire towers gave Nezzar a bit of a false sense of security here. Just being raided to death. And is trying to do the same with some success. Yeah, this eco is being raided heavily. Alright, this is fine again for now, but at this point it's 38 to 72 villagers. So, Imperial Age brought condos, I guess. That's a nice power spike for Imp. But it doesn't help if your whole eco is being raided. And also Biry, I guess Biry has 22 in fishing ships. That's a big part of the eco lead as well. Another big raid coming in here. What do we have here? Also over here though. Condos don't hold up as well against the fire towers. I guess the Trivamshas are dodging some of the flames, or just are faster so that it's easier to avoid. Fish borders would be helpful, yes, but I don't play with fish borders. There's a lot of fish on the outside in various kinds, but this small lake has a few shorefish left, and that's it. That being said, it's connected. I'm pretty sure you can sail over here. And this one, though, also has reached fish trap stage. This would actually be a decent place to raid with the condos, or with a Dreb. Let's check though, what do we have going on here? We have Trivamshas, one Trivamsha on the wood line here, only 2 fire towers left. Yeah, Nezzar still behind in eco and not able to recover from the raids, I feel. He's managing to do some raiding here though as well, cause some idle time. Might be able to push this dock. Yeah, perhaps fish trap borders would make sense. I do play with small trees in tournaments, otherwise I don't. Murder holes. We need murder holes. I'm pretty sure fire towers would benefit if you researched murder holes. This eco though is looking pretty. 1 on gold. 15 on food, but only 5 in the bank. Most of these on food are trying to reseed farms. Meanwhile, Biry has pretty good resource income. Has kind of walled in this, but nope, there's an opening. Condos are in. Villagers are going down. Villagers could garrison in the tower, but they're not. Villagers are now garrisoning, but lots of raiding going on, right? Ooh, and a big fishing ship migration happening here. Meanwhile, more raids there, more raids here. Yeah, look at this eco KD. We've lost a lot of villagers on both sides. These fishing ships could get raided. And they are getting raided. Meanwhile, ooh, murder holes! Get murder holes. Elephants over here. It's of course 2 bases. Just a 2 TC start is hard to manage anyway, right? You will double the places to demand your attention, and it only gets worse later on. This base here, though, has been operating relatively freely for a long time. Nezzar down to 22 villagers, isn't producing any villagers either. Doesn't have any presence on water. Like, you could just fish on the outside. But it's not looking good. We're producing 1 condo down to 20 villagers. More dying here. The condos are still going around and are going to hit this gold again, probably. But there's nothing to take out the siege. Oh, and wait, do these have murder holes? Just looking at. But Biry didn't have a castle. Why do his siege towers have murder holes? That I'm not sure about. Oh, right. It's a university tech, not a castle tech. Yeah. So. 57 Shrivamshas versus 56 condos. And the Shrivamshas win because they are faster and better at raiding. So there you have it. Fun set. 6 VMDL scouts. That's, I think, the most extreme scouting set I've seen. Demo RAF there even. Let's see, did I miss anything important here? Consistent zoom level is advisable. Probably makes sense, yeah. It might be a bit too jarring if I'm constantly zooming in and out. That's fair. Well, now I have it so it zooms or it scrolls more slowly. But anything that isn't too jarring, I guess that makes sense. And we can even look technically at the capture age statistics. And, well, this says it all, right? Just the eco difference. And military difference. Castle Age, it was still very equal. But the condos didn't manage to do the same amount of damage as the Bombshells. APM requires Capture H Pro. I don't do enough streaming to get Capture H Pro. That's fair. Closer than this. Yeah, but like this is after the game, right? This is... There are a lot of demos here. Probably something like this is a good zoom level, yeah. Anyway, it is late. Thank you for coming to watch. And I'm going to call it a night here. We can... so in the end, Biry advances to the round of 16, which is happening right now. And there are a couple games scheduled for Friday. I don't think any other games have been scheduled yet. I might have to go pester the players to make sure they schedule. Lexi is casting HyperRandom. I will check if that is true and go raid. Twitch. Alright. Ooh, she's casting freaking India versus John Slow. I'll go raid. That makes sense. Channel, it's on, where is this thing? It's on stream. Creator dashboard, it's somewhere in there. Stream manager. Raid channel, there we go. Category. Huh. Search. Be there in a moment. So thanks for joining, and perhaps I will cast some more next week, later this week, we'll see. I'll post in the Discord if I do.
Is not going to happen in time, and that siege tower is going to eject all of these troops, and they are going to come in. And hello, Zetnus and Zetnus's crew, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for the raid. We are on game 4 of the main bracket of HyperRandom, Masters of HyperRandom 2, potentially the final game. And I'm going to be honest, the way things are going at this exact moment, I think that it might be. I hope you all had a great stream, Zetnus. Thank you so much for the tournament. Thank you so much for a lovely and cool map, as Andy is setting himself up for a victory at the moment. Although it looks like John will get up